I welcome you all to the next topic on the project management, that is project organizations and structures. So, to begin with, organizations, how they go back. The originator has been known and the credit has been given to Henry Fayol and Max Weber. So, Max Weber was been named as the father of bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is been derived from the German word for management by office, that is management by a person. So the organizations could be, either belonging to Fayol's primes or otherwise they could be there with the bureaucratic organizations. To understand this, let us go ahead. Henry Fayol and Weber's principle of management, how they are being categorized. In India also, the Britishers have accepted this kind of an organization towards making the labor work. That is, by making the division of work, centralization, authority, discipline, hierarchical structure. That is, there is a boss and there is a worker, right? And the boss can be categorized into supervisor, manager, etc., etc. So, functionally oriented, likewise, who will do what. That is, if a fellow has been heading accounts department, so it was department oriented. So we at our institute, okay, we also are having a functionally oriented kind of a structure here, which is departmental centric, isn't it? And silos of specialities. That is, a particular person is being isolated on the basis of capacity, right? Decision and promotion path is vertical, so therefore it is dependent on the boss to decide what is your fate. So that is the biggest disadvantage, okay, that you can have with the Fayol's model. That is, you have to be entirely dependent on what your boss does with you. If you have got good relationships, connections, you would be benefited. Otherwise, even though your competencies and skills you demonstrate 1,000 times, it may not be of the use. So, going next, okay, is the historical background. As I said, that Henry Fayol's model we have seen, there has to be a scientific approach in doing this management. Frederick Taylor began his work, and then workers, they were being mentioned as Fox, gave away to the concept of productivity. So, how to get the work done from the Fox? Okay, so that was the basis, isn't it? So nothing else. So therefore, the in the face of cost and poor quality pressures, it has given on wide organizations, right, with fewer managers, less direct command and control. So big teams, but few managers. This was been the result of. But the matrix approach emerged in 1960, which has grown the cross-functional teams, that is from various domains, discipline, etc. And even you can see this today, these cross-functional teams. Okay, how these project structures goes about, we will look at that. What has been changing in the 19th and 20th century? There was a formal kind of a network that you can see. There was an boss, subordinates, and then the subcontracted work, and then informal arrangement of the work done. So you can see over there again the 20XX, okay, team best, geographically co-located teams. Geographically co-located teams were being participating. So face-to-face dialogue is absent. So therefore, it was being template based, document based. So that's why when you are not speaking, your documents should speak what you have done and what you are, isn't it? There is an SRS written by you should be understandable and interpretable worldwide, right? So therefore the language has to cross the culture issue, right, which is a big issue in epistemology, right, or ethnography. Next is the characteristics of organization, how it is being measured. It is being measured on the kind of a model, likewise, whether it is having hierarchical model or matrix like, or what it is. What is the maturity level? How long they have the experiences? Thickness, that is one project team, isn't it, is composed of how many people? In Agile, we restricted this number up to 9. We don't want the 10th member, okay, there. Size of the organization, that is 50 employees or 1000 employees. Dispersion, to how many people you will have to communicate the information and from how many people you will derive the information, right? And the structure, right? So structures we will investigate a little later, right? So let us try to understand these apexes, right? Strategic, midline, and the operating core. So strategic apex, the management come in there, the leadership that sets the strategic direction, middle line management, translation of strategic direction into tactical plans, wherein the operating core is an execution of plans to produce the product and services. So therefore, if you look with a different kind of an angle, the board of management decides the vision and mission. Right? Let us talk about the hierarchy, vision, mission, goals, objectives, the processes, activities, and actions. So, vision and mission is being decided by strategic apex. The middle management, that is tactical apex, has to deal with. Okay, it will not deal with vision and mission. What is next? Goals, objectives, and processes. What they will be looking at will be GOP, short form of goals, objective, and processes. Strategic apex, in short, they will deal with VM, that is very much important, isn't it? There is vision and mission, right? And GOP, okay, gossiping we have heard, GOP, we are going to pick up GOP out of that is goals, objectives, and processes. And at the operating core, you will have what? You will have activities network. You have what? Atomic actions. Yeah. You have the task ladder. And then, if you have all this, what you need is supporting staff and technology structure. Why you need supporting staff? Supporting staff who are not technical kind of people. Alright? Support staff, maybe marketing team, technology structures will be suggesting about the competing resources that you have. Another kind of a map you can see here is, let me hide. So staff size versus the project duration. If the staff size is greater than 32, okay, and you have what greater than 2 years is the period, that is project duration, you have what the second section, okay, it's very difficult, okay, slower response to the market, isn't it? Just see to it. With the 8 people you cannot manage it. With 16 or more, almost impossible, okay, in one day, 1 month, okay. In 3 months, difficult to manage. In 6 months, it will be finding out major assets. Okay. If staffs are only two, they will give quick response. Okay, in 8 days. Okay, if the project duration is small. If it is very big, it will be either creating uninteresting kind of a response or slow response. Why? Because it is a human psychology not to turn up quickly. It is the human tendency not to listen, isn't it? When the things are there in the hand, isn't it? So therefore, who will correct whom? That is the matter of project managers. So co-located team members, just see to it. You have to have the dispersed team members as well. So cultural kind of and stuff can be investigated over there, isn't it? So co-located teams means we are talking about a territory. Likewise, a campus is there. You must have visited certain campus, isn't it? Technology campus. That is an example of co-located team members, dispersed team members, geographic locations, different locations are in there and you are been working with that stuff. Okay. Now, what are the powers of project managers? Whether the project managers are powerful entities or only the name project manager has been given. They have got legitimate powers, okay, to give the decisions. They must have the rewarding capacity, connection with the influential people or organizations, coercive, that is, to provide sanctions or consequences for non-performance, coercive, that is, action taking, expert, that is, relevant education, experience, and expertise must be there. Information and referent, okay, they must be perceived attractiveness of interacting with another person. Yeah. So every project manager has his or her own style, isn't it? And the thing is that about the project managers, the team members they communicate that what this project manager is all about. Is he criticizes us frequently? Is he too much coercive? That everything he benchmarks as non-performance, whether he is expert or whether the referent, right? And this reference has to be in the correct context. So, immature organization, right, will do what? Just see there is an fog in between, nothing is known. Ad hoc processes improvised by their practitioners and management. Processes and rules not being followed, high dependence on current practitioners. If you give too much kind of an footage to the singular units, then they will prove as obstacles to you, right? Which are never easy to hit and never easy to balance. If you take up others to dictate your own job, then probably that will create loss of appetite for you to generate new ideas, new functions, and you will be directed by the practitioners. You will not be directing the practitioners. Understand this? That is a failure or lacuna. Now, how to handle the things in a matured kind of a way? Processes are being defined, documented, and continuously improving. Yeah, it should not be only remaining on the paper. It should be with the work artifacts as well, right? It is visible support by management and engineering, well controlled and audited, and disciplined use of technology, right? So, if somebody demands technology and you are just giving it without a reason, that will be an expense from the pocket of the organization or from the project sponsor. So we have got four types of organizations. One is functional, then is matrix, then is projectiles, then is the combination of all the above. So just see to it in the functional, grouped into functional specialties. Functional groups are the leaders only. That is, are just like our department head. Yeah. Then the department heads are followed by the deans. Okay, honorable deans, and then the honorable deans are being headed by honorable director. Right. Where is the leaf node? Leaf nodes are the teachers or the faculties. Right. Now matrix. There are the three groups: weak, balanced, or strong, depending on the powers of how this ranking is been there, weak, balanced, or strong, depending on the power of functional and project leaders, grouped into functional specialties but assigned to projects as needed, and projectized. All skills needed are assigned to the project full time. So dangerous option is been there. Extremities are been there, okay, functional and projectized. So if you are doing any kind of an hybrid organization, the skills will vary and the skill specialists will vary. So let us look at the functional organization. Likewise, I have said that it is just looking like the department's structure. President, engineering, production, finance, marketing, and operations. These are the departments, right? And there is a single president. And you have got the units below engineering, production, and finance and marketing and operations. So you have got a project managers for engineering, for production, for finance, and they will be doing reporting to the president. Now, how it looks like, just look at the dotted line, project ad hoc board will consist of functional managers or FMs shortly, and they have what staff below them. There is no hierarchy amongst the staff. Okay, so the functional manager selects the staff, right, and does the project coordination. Yeah, staff engaged in the project activities. At that time, other staff, what they will do is a question mark. Okay, probably the other functional managers may be utilizing them. So, what are the benefits? Easier management of specialists. Team members only have one boss. Centralized and rationalized resources, clear career path. The boss trumps the project. I am the winner. I have done it. I am responsible. I have taken the initiative. I have been there with the project. I was the authority and I was the leader. I was the so much a balanced kind of an effort taker. It is due to me the project has succeeded, and therefore there is no home for the team. Team is born into Indian Ocean, probably. Yeah, when the boss trumps the project. Now, frustrations could be added here. If boss does everything, what the others are been doing then? Isn't it? Is a question now. Okay, so just see to it, the even from the specialized skills, etc., there are advantages, but just see to disadvantages. Okay, that is lacks customer orientation, implies a long decision cycle, has no single function accountable. Okay, over all the projects. Okay, and allows conflicts because lack of customer focus will be coming in, isn't it? Yes. So purely functional organizational kind of a form will have multiple deficits, okay, like this. Project expeditor, okay, utilize your skills, right, on every kind of a direction. Have and project expeditor, okay, which will be coordinating the things and reporting to the vice president. Vice president has appointed, okay, project expeditor or manager. Yeah, and PP, people are working on various aspects of project. So, there will be dual bosses now. One will be the project expeditor, another one is vice president, engineering or production or financial. Okay, if you eliminate PE, that is project expeditor, and staff, there is some staff allotted in between the VP and president. Okay, so this is a bureaucratic kind of an organization. Okay, if you eliminate them, it will look a pure functional organization. So only you can make a few decisions. Okay, here because your work will be monitored, right? Just see to it. The expeditor must be very persuasive person to be effective and motivating workers with no real authority. It's not the authority. Who is the authority? Vice President Engineering is the authority. So without powers and hierarchies, the expeditors just look into the matter and try to resolve the space. Now, project coordinator. You have got project coordinator, right? The staff appointed as project coordinator. There could be multiple staffs as well. Again, you can see that this is a functional model extension, but you have got a project coordinator, right? Who centrally tries to. What is the disadvantage of doing the work like this? Originally, the two models, that is expeditor and coordinator, they are the form of functional one. But what is the disadvantage over here? The disadvantage here is that upper management is reluctant. Is reluctant for what? Relinquishing power and authority to project managers. And upper management usually not ready to cope up the problems. And line staff project managers, they have no authority or control. So if you don't have the authority or the control, and if you permit the people to take the decisions on their own, what the thing can happen is the delays will be waiting for you, the cost will be getting extended, and there will be chaos everywhere. So, to get rid of all these things, Project Matrix organization came in late 1960s and early 1970s, and right now also it has been used. So just see to it. There are the departments: vice president, projects, engineering, production, operations, marketing, and finance. And you have got project managers lanes now. Project managers belonging to one complete project range, right? Project managers of the type B will be doing for project B. Project managers C will be doing the lane with C, right? So it looks like a matrix. So what is being gained is make efficient use of resources, encourages the higher moral because you find an authority, that is project manager, whom you can communicate. Yeah, if you don't wish to communicate to vice president of some division or branch, you can communicate with the project managers. But it is having drawbacks. Okay, which are the major one is reporting to dual bosses. That is two bosses. Who are these ones? These are nothing but the project managers and vice presidents. The dual bosses. Who is the real boss? Can you answer this question? Okay. Who is the real boss? Well, nobody is the real boss. So jointly they have to take the decision. Vice president and the project managers. They have to cope up the situations, right? But the team spirit, if you say, will be highly motivated in this thing. So pluses, highly visible objectives, because what is been expected at tactical strategic level, that is vision mission, is been passed by the tactical view, that is where the managers are there, that is goals, objectives and processes, and sufficient training will be given. And then only the monitoring is required now day to day. Improved project management control, better coordination, and team members have a home. They will be credited with the work done. So, just having two bosses can't be the reason that you will deny the matrix organization. Yeah, just having two bosses, no problem. But if we are being credited, what is the problem then? Not cost effective. Too many people, yes, there will be involvement of too many people, but for what? You want quality and better coordination or not? If yes, then you have to invest in the quality. Resource allocation is harder, but not impossible. It's harder, but it's not impossible, right? And there has to be education, okay, and potential for handling the conflicts and duplication of effort. This has to be seriously watched out at. And just see to it, weak matrix, balanced, strong composite. Just see to it how it goes up. Weak matrix is towards functional and composite is towards projectiles. Right? Now in weak matrix, just see to it. Where is the lane form? It is amongst the lane forms. Okay, with the star. Here you can find the dotted line. Right? Here comes the project coordination. And now in the balanced matrix, you have a project manager. What has been changed in the previous one and this one? Okay, the previous one, that is weak matrix, shows that the staffs are been coordinating. You have what? Functional managers. And here you have what? Even though functional managers, you have what? Project manager now, isn't it? Balanced matrix. And in case of strong matrix, you have what? Project managers. That is, you will be having manager of managers. Now, you should not term this as meta project manager. Do not term it as meta project manager. It's a manager of project managers, right? That is, a cricket team has got players and there is a captain, right? And there is a vice captain. Everybody cannot be captain and vice captain, okay? As a team member, you can suggest something, right? But at least this is true that apart from the captain, you need the manager, right? The managers are of different types, isn't it? Fitness managers, isn't it? Bowling coach and all and all. But there is a head of them, isn't it? Head coach. So that managers of EM, isn't it, represents that position exactly, right? So strong matrix, okay, just see to it, okay, project coordination, how it happens is it could go horizontal or it can be cross sectional, vertical also, yeah. And then the projectized. In projectized, okay, in 1980s and 1990s, this was been developed. For projects, you will be selecting the lens, isn't it? This is just as the way we are releasing the software, right? For a project, you need how many branches? All branches you need. A project is a makeup of what? Engineering, production, financial, marketing, operation, and personal units. Right? So, uh, motion picture industry utilizes this form for each movie produced. If you can read the titles, you can see the credits that are being given, and probably many a times we overlook. Right? Now here the program manager, isn't it? What is a program? Set of interrelated projects. And the program manager has the total authority and called as mini CEO. Called as mini CEO. So this is what is the structure. You have got directly project managers, right? and below them you have what are the staffs. And this is vertical lane, vertical alignment of the work to be accomplished. So pluses and minuses. Pluses indicates efficient project coordination, loyalty to the project. So in between, nobody changes the team unless and until the other hand is been ready. No home when the project is done. When movie is completed, okay, it's been completed. Once credit has been given. So no home when project is done. Where to go is a big question, isn't it? Start off with a new ground. Less professionalism in discipline. Okay, but this can't be justified always. Okay, less professionalism. Yeah, professionalism is existing, and these days it is at the highest priority. Less efficient use of resources. This might not be too much kind of an defendable thing. Yes, no career path. Because who is your owner? Try to determine it. Right? A single project manager is knowing the staff. Right? Only on the basis of recommendations of the project managers, you can engage into new projects. Right? That is what is the only stuff that you can do. So this is a comparison of all the project structures that we have studied up till now. Okay, so project characteristics versus the organization structure. Where it stands for organization structure and project characteristics. Okay, just see to it. PM's authority in projectized it is I into total, isn't it? In case of functional, it is little or none. PM's time, okay, 0% to 100%. PM's role in the first two cases, functional and weak matrix, it's part time, but for the rest of all, it is full time. PM's title, coordinator, leader, you are a project manager, you are a project officer, but on the next range, it is only project manager and administration staff. Project manager, okay, as an administrative staff in first three cases, that is functional, weak matrix and balance, it is part time, but for strong and projectile, it is full time. Now, how to balance is the question. Now, just see balance of power and degree of influence. So, there are the categories low to high, degree of influence. This has been based on the previous table itself. Right. So, as you are balancing power, shifts left, okay, towards pure functional. You can see that the degree of influence is high. Balance of power, okay, see to it, project influence in decision making, okay, this quadrant will be realizable. Okay, strong matrix, so it's pure project, right? So this is just like an folder, isn't it? If you can hold this stuff, you can understand. If you open it, this is the highest quadrant, this is the lowermost quadrant. Okay, the influence on decision making. So to get ahead, these are the characteristics by organization structure. Uncertainty. We have to select the best of the breed, right? Best of the breed. Just see to it. In case of projectiles, there is no career path, okay, as such. So just see to it and compare movies here, right? In projectiles. Of course, the functional will be having either low, small, diverse, okay. In the week, okay, little bit of improvement you can see, okay, but not too much. Here, significant improvement you can see, yeah, but very, you know, story of time criticality, okay, high time criticality. Interdependencies, okay, are low. Here, interdependencies are high. Within high, isn't you to be honest with your work. Target customer is the one, the 3 or 4, isn't it, in case of strong matrix. Importance is very high, isn't it? Size is large, okay, large kind of environment. So this is the way to look at the table. And what should be done to make the project successful by making use of organization structure? We will have to look into awareness first of all. Aware the people, aware your project team. Perform questioning and understanding. Make an acceptance because you are aware that either reluctance or doing something equally the worst, isn't it? Has to be monitored, isn't it? Because falsification of project anybody can do. You have to be on the truth maintenance, yeah, and then the ownership. People must be committed to take the ownership. That is what is the challenge issue. So behavior, Kent Kelvin's force and field analysis model, restraining forces and driving process, they will keep the system in equilibrium. So productivity versus time, yeah, but actual performance it shifts up, yeah, and at the end it makes up somehow, yeah. And in the case of behavior, it's about okay, time if you see short and long time versus difficulty. High is the difficulty, then the time has to be a longer time, and there group behavior will come. Okay, below group behavior you can find individual behavior. Below that you can find attitude, and below that you can have knowledge. So people many a times they quote that your attitude is wrong and attitude is an biggest kind of an word which if you take up the sum of A for 1 then B for 2, if you take it the sum it makes it to 100, okay, and that's why you should have attitude. But where it is being placed, it is been placed with an medium range difficulty and mid range kind of a time, not beyond that. Yeah. After attitude it comes individual behavior. How you behave. How you behave with you and then how you behave with the rest of the world. Yeah. So and are you a parcel of the team member? That is important. Are you a parcel of the team member? If not, then difficulties will be there. Education can be given, but how to become literate cannot be taught in any school, cannot be taught in any institute. Yeah, just like to remember my own sayings that just having a session on motivation will not give you motivation, isn't it? Just like that. You have to apply your own principles, your own practices to gain the motivation, to learn, isn't it? Once the thing that you stop, that is learning, everything will be waiting around you, will be a failure in total. That doesn't only depend on the attitude, okay? And we speak of knowledge, isn't it? Knowledge, okay? You should be knowledgeable, isn't it? Where it comes, low level difficulties and low level time zones you require. So, group behavior is very important kind of thing. If you want to succeed, you have to prove your merit as a group member and then the world will have a lookout and saying that what is there exactly with you. Is it your problem or group's problem or world's problem or universal problem or galaxy's problem? Going next, PMP and PDCA. These slides are very simple to understand. Plan to act check. This has been coming from the Six Sigma. So PMP, Project Management Institute's PMP model, project monitoring and planning. Planning, then executing, before that initiating, and then once the iteration is over, planning, executing, then somewhere you will have closing. Yeah. So just see to it. Cost is a function of what? PTS. Performance, cost and no. Cost is a function of the remaining three attributes. That is PTS. You can remember it in any order. You can remember as STP, isn't it? Scope, time and performance. Yeah. Simple thing. STP. Remember it as STP. Alright. The PMBOK per edition says like that. You have to have planning processes, risk planning, environment planning. Okay, so these diagrams will explain you what you have got: initiating process, planning process, executing, monitoring and closing. So what are the inputs? Inputs are environment, enterprise environment, organization, assets and project sponsor. And what is the outcome? Customer delivery. So this is the overall scenario. If we go into each and every process, you will have project management information system, PMIS. PMIS stands for project management information system. So you can have charter, project charter, that is the project charter is been done by the first line project managers, that is to derive the preliminary scope. Okay, and SOW contract. You have written SOW, statement of work. It is a contract document, and if there is historically available literatures, the third line project manager should submit. In the second case, planning process, you have to have the charter as an input, preliminary process, and outcome will be the project plan. Once you have the project plan, then what is next? In executing the process, you have a project management plan. The deliverables could be the change management, implementing the change requests, implementing the corresponding kind of an defect management scenario, repairing the work performance information, and with the monitoring control. We have got the previous output as input. This is a serial kind of a model. And you have got the approval over here that the validation has been done. Again, the difference between verification and validation, to summarize, verification is a process of examining, am I building the system right? That is the way that is being followed by me is right on. Validation, am I building the right system? That is about the quality of the end product. So in closing, somewhere you have to close. Okay, after your 4 years are over, okay, your graduation degree has to be given to you, right? So in the same way, like you began in FY, your termination should happen. I mean, termination doesn't mean joining what defaulters list or what. There is official termination as a student, isn't it? When you get your degree certificate. Yeah, mark list is one of the other assets that you can have. And the top 10 signs of projecting price is very, very important. We will start off with the 10th point: lack of long-term commitments. Workforce tied to old technology. With the current infrastructure, you do wonders, right? You will not provide anything new. Inadequate work environment, too much crowdy. Okay, ventilation is improper. No fans. Okay, or too chilled atmosphere. Inadequate use of outside resources. Resource management is done in a wrong sense. High turnover in this project staff. Constantly changing project staff because the staff is not having the faith in the project management structure. Unachievable, unrealistic schedules that are being given to this project staff. Lack of training and mentoring. This will lead to demotivated team. This will lead to depressive kind of an agents. Very bad idea to have them. Unstable requirements ranked at top 3 items now we have seen. Unstable requirements. Where are the goals now? I am waiting for goals. Can I find them at second point? Inadequate project planning and management of plan. So there might be goals at one. What is your guessing? Your guessing is goals will be there at the first point. A guess, expecting that you have read the material from VOLP, downloaded it and read. You are continuously doing it. Okay, you are using it, the platform. Yeah. What is your opinion? Point number 1, isn't it? Is it about goals? Is it about people management? Is it about turnover of the company? Is it about 1,000 employees, 2,000 employees company? Is it about market share? Project in crisis. Oh my goodness. Lack of communication. Lack of communication. Just see to it. When we want to say yes, we say no. When we want to say no, we say yes. What is the best of the breed example? Do you know Java? And people say, yes, we know Java. But we, being literate, we do not ask, what are your expectations? When you are saying that, do you know Java? Knowing Java as a textbook, I have seen some textbook. Okay, so lack of communication, isn't it? So say the things at right time, because saying it afterwards will not have any meaning. And if we are keeping the mum always, probably that is not a good sign. So 10 killer flaws. Okay, acting aloof, betraying trust, over managing the people. Yeah, some people feel that we will manage everything. Today I have made this fellow fool. Okay, but that is an temporary kind of an mind game that you have won. Isn't it? Internally you are a loser, right? Over dependency or a mentor. If some task is been given, always inquire, shall I do this, shall I do that? It's quite a boring kind of an handling of such employees, right? Yeah. And trust, okay, has to be maintained, isn't it? Beyond anything, trust. Yeah. And the presentation ends here. I